What a great
Yes,
movie.
ma'am.
What a great
Oh
movie.
my goodness.
I loved, I read the book when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to see it come to life on screen. And I said this in my review, this was the first time I think I actually liked a movie better than the book. You guys took it off and the characters were elevated and I loved it. So for you, what was it like playing this character who is not that lovable? She's that character you
She's
just
a little bit of a little
oh.
pest. She's a little bit of a pest. You know what? I can honestly say, and we shot this, during COVID and it was cold, like we were out in the snow, it was so much fun. This was one of the funnest times I've ever had with a cast. It was so much love, so much, just the energy was sparkling, the energy was very on without pressure. So I felt like that's probably why you get the chemistry that you see between everyone.
Yeah.
There's so many characters. There's a lot of competition, and yet as a cast we were just it was just like Christmas, and we actually like shot it around Christmas too. So, and now it's Christmas time again and it's coming out. So it felt like it felt like a gift, and I hope that you guys feel the same way because it was so much fun. I mean, hating has never been so much fun.
No, it hasn't. And you make it look good, which, I shouldn't say, but you do. For you, have you run into a person in your life who has, been like your character, who just wants you, whether it be work or personal, you're just like, why are you like this?
Yes. And unfortunately, like Lucy's character, I'm like, I'm always like, okay, I don't understand the boundaries. A little bit of a people pleaser. So I'm very, 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 very accustomed to people who know how to push people over, even if they do it with a smile. And so that's why I hope with my character, I tried to make her lovable, though she has a lot of excuses, though she's a BSer, she's just, it's just who she is. You gotta love her. It's just who she is.
But everyone has someone like that in their lives.
And that's why it's so relatable. You're like, girl,
yes,
put your foot down. Put your foot down.
But then you're also thinking to yourself, I've run into that same exact situation and done the same thing.
So I can't be mad. I cannot be mad.
No. So what drew you to wanting to be a part of this movie? Had you read the book before and knew you kind of wanted to be in it, or no?
You know what, the casting director called me and they were going another direction with it. But when we went, when I was in my director's session, we were improvising, and it was so easy. As an actor, it's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of trying to make things work. You're always trying to make something work. But at the director's session, we just improv the scenes. We just threw away the script and we were just playing. And I was like, this is a lot of fun. I'm used to feeling a lot of pressure. So I was like, I have to do this. When they called and offered me the part, I was like, I have to, because I just felt it was so much ease. And I'm not used to that. In this industry, you're not used to things just actually just working smoothly. That's, I guess, reserved for the florists and the, I don't know, anything where no people are involved. Yeah. Okay, I guess that life is reserved for the florists. So when I was like, I have to, my life needs this. My life needs this kind of workation, this vacation work merge, because it felt like that. It was very bright. It was very fun. Long shoot days, cold shoot days, and it was just fun. So I was like, this is, especially during the pandemic when we were shooting it, I was like, this is what is needed right now.
So you shot, please correct me if I'm wrong, up in upstate New York, correct? So what was that like filming, and especially during COVID, where you have to stay so tightly knit with only the people you can interact with?
You know what? With the cold, I'm gonna tell you this: that the paintball scene in the snow was a very long day, and you have protocols still. Like, we're in full snow gear, we're masked up, we're in layers and layers of thermal. You're sweating, you're cold, and you have to keep these, COVID protocols. And it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, it was like a zoo. It was like a zoo, and you're like, surrender, surrender, surrender to the crazy. Just let it syrup over you. This is insane. I gotta have a mask on, a mask on, a mask on top of a snow helmet hat, and then your character has on a hat too. You're like, this is crazy. Let's do it. This is officially insane.
Yeah. But
it was crazy. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but
it was bonkers. It worked.
Yes.
It worked. It was such a crazy scene. Yeah, and it worked. But it was crazy because we all had to stay in our own pods. The heat, it was a crazy snow that day. So it was crazy, but it was a lot of fun. It was as fun to shoot as it looks. It is really that crazy and wild.
I was going to say, because I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. It looked like a blast, and it didn't even look like you guys were that cold. I forgot that it was snowing and all of that. Like you completely missed that because you're having so much fun. So offset, were you all able to hang out offset and do stuff, or because of COVID and long days, it was just, let's get to shooting, get it done with, and that's it.
We traveled, the travel sometimes is a couple hours, so we got to talk on the travel, and when we weren't filming, but because of the COVID protocols, it was very strict. It was extremely strict. So unfortunately, we didn't get to hang out a lot outside of set, but it was a blast while we were there. And even when we got to travel and eat, we ate together, and we nagged each other and were in each other's faces. But this was the end of last year, so it was a miracle to even go back to set. I'm filming on other series and other shows and other films, and it's like, just to be able to work in these precautions is extraordinary. Especially there's snow and there's wetness and there's food and there's snacks and there's screaming and there's kissing and there's all these things. So we didn't get to spend that much time together because of the COVID protocols.
So how do you create chemistry that way? Now that you're, especially with this kind of cast where it's a small cast relatively. And you have to, no matter if you're, in the love story, you're not in the love story, for you guys, you and Lucy Hale, you guys have to create a relationship that seems like it's been going on for years, your work colleagues. So how do you do that, especially when you can't really be hanging out outside of set?
You got to come with your A game. You realize, like, this is what we're doing, and we get to talk. Obviously, when you hear that cut, there's that time to, like, we got to know each other. It was so lovely getting to know Lucy, and in hair and makeup, we got to talk. You just really have to trust the process and really trust that, and be yourself. Like, when we weren't filming, I got to learn so much about her, and we had so many dope conversations. And I think that really fed when we did get to shoot. But I tell you, with the emergency of the pandemic, you really felt that, like, we're not going to warm into it. We're going to go right into it. You got to be buzzing from the top of the day. So I think really just bringing your A game because of the pressure, I think that's how we created that chemistry. It wasn't a traditional shoot because of the COVID protocol. So you're just like, okay, I have to do my work. So I have to do my work. I have to come to set absolutely prepared, in good spirits, well caffeinated, well hydrated, well rested, so that I can be a part and lend my best self to this world that we're creating, because it is such a world. You have the work life, you have the love life, it's always cooking. So you really want to come in ready to throw some turkey in the boil. Some turkey in those greens.
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head. It's finding that perfect balance. And in this one, the big kind of theme is obviously, the love story, but also finding that balance between work and personal life. So for you, how do you find that balance and make sure that you keep separated, your work and your personal? They're always going to overlap at points, but how do you find a way to keep the two balanced?
Good. Every morning, I feel like every day God gives us a new day, and we get to reset. And in the mornings, I like to take my time and, I meditate, I pray, I spend time with God, and it's needed because the phone, the news, the outside, the family, the agents, the managers, the the press, the flights. So I think for me, it is so vital to start my morning just in quiet time with God, and just to check in with myself, and before anything infiltrates, just to have those mornings separated. I call it like my devotion, like in the morning. I think that's necessary for me. I don't know how anyone else does it. I'm like, how do we not all collectively just pass out? Like how is the world not just saying, let's give up on 3. Let's give up. Yep. Shall we give up on 3, 2? We're going to give up 1, and just like fall out.
Yeah, that's a great answer. That is a great answer. Well, to sneak in one last final question for you. What are you hoping fans get from the movie?
Oh my gosh, I hope that people feel that nostalgic. There's something about a rom-com, right? There's something that just makes you believe in love, and especially in this new world that we're living in, I just hope that it gives people hope that your love story may not be traditional. It may look like a daggone horror. You don't know what genre is it. It's giving sci-fi, it's giving horror. What does it give? It's giving documentary. I hope that fans see that love isn't linear, and not to give up on love. That's what I hope.
Well, it definitely comes off that way. It did leave me feeling, yep, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna find my man,
I'm gonna find my man.
Yep.
I don't care if I gotta fight to get him. I don't care if I gotta hate him first. I'm gonna have to hate him first.
Yep. And I think this will be a rom-com that's revisited years to come. So thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a blast. And I can't wait for everyone to see it.